and the floor is yours. So you're going to tell us a little bit of yourself, and then we jump into the whole agenda of the day.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Um, it's always an honor to have the opportunity to share my experience regarding scholarships in general, because they are available and anyone can win the scholarship, and you don't have to pay to study, if I can say
Yeah.
that. So briefly, I am a pharmacist and I completed my master's in global health science and epidemiology at the University of Oxford. And presently, I'm doing my PhD at the University of Glasgow. So basically, I think probably if you want to apply for this scholarship, you already have, like, the information is available everywhere, is on their website. So I'll focus more on tips and insight that will definitely be useful to you to craft high quality application. But before I go into that, I'm still going to give you an overview for people that are not aware about what Commonwealth Scholarship is all about. Basically, it is called Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and it is different from Commonwealth Master Scholarship. And the major difference is the fact that Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, you are going to be nominated by the UK university. The nomination is not coming from your country. It's not coming from nominating agency like the Commonwealth Masters. But for Commonwealth Shared, you are going to be nominated for the scholarship by the UK university. So the way the application process is really, really simple. The very first thing you have to do is to apply through the Commonwealth Shared website. Um, if you Google it now, it's available. It's on the internet. So I don't think I need to have to go into that. So you apply through that, but at the same time, you also have to submit application to UK university. You can see the process. You apply for the scholarship through the Commonwealth Shared website, and you also have to submit your application to the UK university. So you have to do it maybe at the same time, or you submit one first and you submit the other one later. You also need to check the courses that are actually available for Commonwealth shared. Not all courses in the UK university are actually eligible for the scholarship. Please note that. So, because it happens that some people will apply for a program because they love the program in the university, but it's not available for Commonwealth shared. So that means that you cannot apply for the scholarship through Commonwealth shared because they actually select different courses annually. So a course might be there this year, it's not going to be there next year. So that's why you have to
Mm.
check right now what what are the courses across different university that are actually available for the Commonwealth share. Not all courses like Chevney that you can use it anywhere or in any university in the UK. But Commonwealth shared is different because they actually bid for different courses annually. So you have to check once the application opens, which is already open right now and it's going to close very soon. So you have to
9th
check,
December.
yeah, 9th of December. So you have to check right now the courses that are actually available
Mm.
for Commonwealth. And we have a lot across different CSC development teams. So we have different teams. If you check, we have science and tech for development. Under science and tech for development, we have different courses. We have different university. So different university and the courses that they actually nominate. Let me give you an example. For University of Oxford, they might decide that this year we are going to put forward 6 courses. So you have to look out if you are thinking of applying to Oxford for Commonwealth Shared scholarship. You cannot apply for a course that is not listed this year because you can't apply for that through Commonwealth Shared website. So you have to be sure that the course that you're applying for is eligible for Commonwealth Shared scholarship. So once you've ascertained that and you are sure, you also need to check the deadline. For instance, in Oxford, the scholarship or the funding deadline is usually in first of around 1st of December. So it's going to close
Mm.
very soon for Oxford. So if you
Mm.
miss that deadline for admission, then if you apply for Commonwealth Shared, it's nothing.
Mm.
I'm not sure you get what I'm trying to say. So if you have any question, please type your question if you are not clear with anything. You also have to check the university. But the thing is that most universities in the UK, they don't have strict deadline. I think it's mainly Oxford, Cambridge, they have very strict deadline that you have to submit early December. So that means that even if you don't submit your scholarship application yet for Oxford or for Cambridge, you need to submit the application to the university by this this second, or yes, I think next week, around next week, you have to submit your application to them. So what that means is that you also have to check the university in case the university that is listed, they have deadline for admission to that program, so that you can do it simultaneously. So you don't have to wait, you don't have to delay anything. For me now, if I'm applying to Oxford now, I need to submit my application to Oxford. If I can wait a bit to submit before the funding deadline, which is 9th of December for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. But what is important is that you have to submit the two. You have to submit admission application for to that course. I also have to submit the application to the scholarship. So you have to, because I'm saying this because people make mistakes a lot. I've seen someone, I know someone that submitted his application for Commonwealth Shared for a program, but he missed the university's deadline for admission into that course. No, there's no way they will see your application. Don't worry about linking. They know how they will link it. So once you submit your application for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, Commonwealth Scholarship will be the one that will transfer your application to the university. So they will know that you apply for admission, and they will also know that you apply for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. You don't have to bother. They know this. So they know it. So I'm trying to talk about this so that you will actually know that you have to do the two at the same time. For some program, they don't have any strict deadline. For some university in the UK, they don't have strict deadline. But I will encourage you that any application for admission to any university, even if they don't have a strict deadline, please submit maybe as soon as possible. As soon as you submit your application for Commonwealth Shared, also submit your application for admission. Even if the university mentioned that the deadline for admission is next year, they can say, "Oh, our course, this course is going to close for admission March 2026." So if you wait till then before you submit your application, they will have started reviewing and they're wondering, who is this person? So you already miss out. So please try as much as possible to submit your application to admission to that university maybe before the end of the year, even if they don't have strict deadline. But you know, for schools like Oxford, Cambridge, they have strict deadline that you have to submit admission, your application to be admitted into that program by 2nd, or sometimes I think it's 2nd of December this year. I don't know. You can check if you're applying to Oxford and Cambridge, but make sure that you meet the funding deadline for for admission into that university. So don't say, "Oh, I've applied to Commonwealth Shared and I can submit my Oxford application next year." No, you've missed the funding deadline. Your application will be rejected automatically. So you don't have to. They won't see your application. That's the whole point. So please understand this. And if you have any question, please note all your. I'm going to try as possible to answer all the questions that you might have. So this is scholarship basically, and of course, it's full ride. You have tuition paid. In fact, I don't know where they pay my school fees. I just know they paid. So you may not know anything, but your stipend will come. I think I don't know, maybe probably if increasing now. So, but during our times, I think it's around 1,415 pounds per month. You have your return tickets, you have allowances, you have thesis grants, you have one clothing allowance. They also pay for your immigration health subject. So in fact, it's fully funded. Everything you need to come to the UK to study is going to be provided to you. And if you have first degree, most times what they want, what they recommend, and what most people that I know that they've received this scholarship is that they have either they have first class or they have second class upper. But if you don't have, it's very important. If you have 2-2, second class lower in your bachelor's, and you've done masters before, and you did well in that masters, you can also use that to apply. So it's either you finish with first class or second class, or if you have second class lower and you have relevant masters, you can still apply for the scholarship. So also, unable to afford UK scholarship, someone commented to ask that question. You don't have to demonstrate anything special. By you submitting an application, you already demonstrate that you don't have money. So there's no need to. You already demonstrate. You already show that, oh, I don't have money to study. So there's no, because someone commented. I saw the comments like a few days ago. that, oh, how will I demonstrate that I don't have money? What they mean by that? Even if once you submit your application, you already demonstrate that. That's the terms and
But
conditions.
I think they also have eligible countries. They say low and middle income countries. They have a whole list of countries that are eligible. So
Yes,
once you
yes,
fall into that category, then it's a yes.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So we have a number of countries from East Africa to West Africa to
Mm,
I think India, Pakistan, and
mm,
other places. They are also
mm,
eligible. Please check that. All those things are available on their websites. I think anyone that is
yeah.
serious about applying, you can easily check those information. But just
Mm,
to talk about it, and it is used for thought masters, not research masters. So, in
mm,
fact, please check the university and the courses. They cannot go beyond that. If you
mm,
apply to another program that is not listed on the CSC website for the scholarship, then you are not going to be funded. You have to check so that you can know the courses that each university they've nominated. Oh, in our school, Oxford can say, Cambridge can say we are only funding 5 courses. And also, you also have to check. I don't think I'm not checked this year, but they normally make something available to tell you the number of quota per university. They will tell you that for Oxford, maybe 8. They will tell you for another university, they're just picking one person. So they have different, it's on the CSC website. So they have different quota for different university as well. So you also have to check that so that you can weigh um, your options. And you can also
yeah.
know whether you are you are competing with small number of people or you have a whole lot of opportunity to explore as much as possible. But what I recommend from that end is that please apply. There's no limit. I know someone that applied to 15 university. He applied to 15 schools under CSC and he applied to 15 admission. Well, he was able to, I think he got like 3 or so nomination at the end of the day. So people are desperate. So you that you're applying for just one university, that's fine. That's cool. It's okay. That means that you are
Yeah.
sure that you're going to get in. But I would not recommend that. Please apply
Yeah.
to many university under CSC. There's no limit. You can submit your application to 5 different programs, 10,
Mm,
15. There's no limit. But you also have to apply for admission to that university. That's where it gets a bit dicey. Because for some schools, you have to pay application fee. So
mm,
if you're going to pay application fee to the university, there's no application fee for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. The form is
mm,
free. But when you apply for admission into the university, some schools they
mm,
don't give you waiver. If you apply for Commonwealth, they don't have any. You're applying normal for admission into their program. Like you're submitting a normal application for admission. So you have to pay for that. But the lucky Rwandans, I think most people from East Africa, you don't have to pay admission fee to. I know for Oxford, I know for Cambridge, and I think for some other um, universities in the UK. So you don't have to pay for um, admission fees waived completely. You have to pay.
yeah.
Is is um is waived for you. So you are lucky. But for Nigerians and I think for people from low and middle income countries,
Mm,
you still have to pay for application fee. So you just have to be able to strategize on how you want to do your thing.
mm,
And for each of the courses, for instance, if you are interested in health or you are interested in public health, if you check
mm,
the list of Commonwealth under health, strengthening health systems, they are
mm,
going to have different courses that are available. And you can decide to make your choice. You can decide to apply for everything if you have the time. And the thing is, you can use the same application across board. If let's say for instance you're applying to for masters in public health, and you're applying to something that is related to that again in another school, maybe masters in public health again in another school, and they have
mm,
the same curriculum. Of course, you can use the same profile, the same essay that you've written. But the only
mm.
thing I tell people is that don't go and mention University of Oxford instead of University of Cambridge application. You know when you are trying to copy and paste, you go and make
Copy
mistake and
and
you put
paste.
exactly. Don't do that. Take your time to review so that you will not
Yeah.
put University of Oxford inside University of Cambridge or University of Glasgow inside University of Leeds. So they will wonder
Yeah.
who is this one? Reject. You know that you just copy and paste. So, but
Yeah.
make sure you review carefully so that you know that all applications are actually tailored. That's also very, very
Yeah.
important. Make sure that the application is tailored to the university. So it's
Mm,
fully funded and anyone is eligible. You are going to be nominated by the UK university. Is merit based. I don't know anyone in Oxford, but they nominated me for the scholarship.
yeah.
So it's not about knowing anyone or is about how you write your essays and how you're
Mm.
able to tell your story, which I'm still going to shed more light on. Uh, Richard, do you have anything that you want me to touch on?
Oh, okay. So first of all, normally when we're doing this, you start from zero going to 100. But
Mm.
the minute you started speaking, you started from 100 and you've stayed from there. You've given everything. And I think that's why I really enjoyed watching your videos because, it's straight. If it's business, it's business. Let's get going. So I love the energy. And I think you really shared a lot that is very critical. And one thing is that most of the times when we're looking at deadlines for these awards, we're like, okay, it's 9th December. I have time, things like that. But then you forget that in addition to all of that, you need to start applying to different schools, getting admissions and everything. So you find that you're doing everything at the last minute and you're not 100% sure that you're going to get the admission.
Mm.
So I think that's something really key, not just for this opportunity or award, but also to all awards. It's very important that if you're thinking about applying to the UK, probably start preparing somewhere in August or July
Mm.
so that you catch
True.
chevening, you catch
Yes.
the Commonwealth Masters for the,
Correct.
different countries, and then you
Mm.
also catch this one. Because if you miss chevening, that means at least you have an admission, right? Laying
Yes.
there waiting for you. So now this will be another very great opportunity for you to submit everything right on time.
Yes.
And I'm trying to kind of quote most of the things that you highlighted. And another thing that you mentioned is that few people really go to the website and check what is there. You find that someone, because like as you mentioned, chevening covers everything, right? So you feel like, okay, if I got admission to this course X, then definitely I'm going to get funding from the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. But then since you didn't check the website, you didn't see that it's under the CSC, key areas that they're looking at, you find that you're missing out and you end up submitting like, oh my God, these people, I'm an A-star student. I have everything, fantastic
Exactly.
recommendation and everything. Beautiful essays. Why? What is going on? But then at the end of the day, you need to always go back and check what is written on the website. And I think you said it in the best way. You said that what is eligible this year is not going to be eligible next year. And
Right.
what is eligible for that particular university might not, or the way the way you say that probably that university wants one person or two people, things like
Yeah.
that. You find that you're missing out on those key information. So it's very critical, regardless of whatever that you're going to hear or what. It's always critical. Refer to the website, and yeah, you really put it very nicely. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
again, as I said, we are at 100, so let's just stay there.
Yeah. Someone just asked a question that you need to have offer. You know, the deadline for most schools in the UK, the
Mhm,
admission is still open, and at the
mhm,
same time, the Commonwealth Scholarship is closing very soon. You don't need to have admission offer yet.
mhm,
Don't worry about getting offer to the university. Just submit your
mhm,
application to Commonwealth Share Scholarship and admission to the university. There's a way they link it internally.
mhm,
So they know that you apply to the university and they know that you apply for Commonwealth Share Scholarship. So what is good is that you have the two with them. One with the university and your application with the CSC, you submitted that. So they link everything together. So you don't need to have admission offer right now. But if you
mhm,
do, it's a plus that you already sort out the admission. You just need to submit your application for, but it's not going to affect you. Let me give you a very good example. For me, I got
mhm.
my offer in January.
Your offer to Oxford?
Yes, in January 20. I
Mm.
can't remember what's the year again. So I got my offer. Let's just use the month. So I got the
Yeah,
offer in January. I applied
yeah,
for admission in December, and
yeah.
I applied for Commonwealth scholarships also in December. So that means that they
Mm,
have my application to Oxford and my application for Commonwealth scholarship with them already. So
mm,
there's a way they link the two together. So when I got the offer, now I'm fully eligible because now I have offer to Oxford.
yes.
Now I can now be considered for Commonwealth shared. So at that
Mm,
point, people that apply for, if you apply for Commonwealth shared scholarship in
mm,
Oxford, maybe you were rejected, like for admission into the university, that's the end for Commonwealth share. You cannot be nominated.
mm.
So
Yeah.
you cannot be nominated because you don't have offer to the university. So offer is important. But right
Mm.
now, you don't need to wait for offer to come. There's a way they link everything so they know. But if you have admission to a university right now as we speak, and they are
Mm.
listed, that program, the university is also listed on Commonwealth Share. Please apply. So by
Yeah.
next year, by January, by March, they will start reviewing, they will start linking everything together, and you'll be sure you're going to pop up that, oh, this one, this guy or this person actually applied for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship as well. So they will review your application and they will review everything together next year. So, but right now, you don't need to have admission offer. Don't worry about admission offer. Just do what is important. Submit your application to the university. Submit your application for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and please do multiple applications. It's very, very
Yeah.
important. Don't put your egg in one basket because
Yeah.
you are not sure of anything yet.
Oh yeah, and I think you said it best. Minus specific institutions such as Oxford, where they say strictly by 1st December you should have submitted if you want an offer.
Yes,
But then other institutions in the UK, I know you can probably, if today you are to submit an application, I think in 2, 3 weeks you should get a response. So,
correct.
and we know that at least this, the award and everything, the processing and reaching out to the awardees, it can happen next year, somewhere February, March. So
Yes,
that means if today you are able, as what you've said, you are able to apply to various institutions, get an offer before the end of the year, then that's a very huge plus for you because you might end up getting the award and then you find that you also have the offer. Another thing I read on various institution websites, I don't know whether it's for the award or the institution, they say that once you apply, I think it's for the institution, once you apply for the institution, they nominate you for the various awards because there are some institutions when you apply below they ask you what are the funding options that you're thinking about. So if you mention something like Commonwealth or something, already they can nominate you to the award, which is what you were saying that they have a way of kind of connecting both
yes,
applications. So no,
right.
if I because I know why people might be a little bit perplexed. It's almost 9 days to the deadline. So
Mm,
but that should not really halt you from submitting the application. But what you need to keep in mind is that you really need to put in a lot of time since you don't have time, kind of
yes,
out of time. So apply to as many schools as possible,
yeah,
submit your Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, then you never know what is going to come out of it.
right.
Fantastic.
And if you
And
apply to similar programs, feel free to use different essays because they will not, um, like I use similar essays for different programs, but I make sure that in a way they are a bit tailored as well. Like because it's the same you are the same person, you have the same experience. So you can
uh,
use if you're applying to let's say masters in public health in a school, masters in public health in another school, and they have similar content. You can easily use the same essay. Just make sure that you don't mention University of Oxford instead University of Cambridge
yeah,
application. Make sure that you change everything and everything is tailored to that program. But we can
yeah,
use similar words, similar essay. There's no problem with that. Just make sure that you check the necessary things and you
mm,
tell the right message in your Commonwealth application. But please don't delay application to the university till next year. Though I put
yeah,
January to March here. Don't delay. Once
yeah,
you submit your application for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, make sure that you meet the deadline. But if they have deadline, their deadline to be next year. Don't wait till next year. If you can submit your
mm,
admission application this year, submit it everything so that by next year when they start reviewing, they will see everything and
mm.
it'll be a lot more easier for you to get the scholarship. Yeah.
Fantastic. So now we were testing, right? Testing the waters.
Yeah.
So now for someone who is now already applying or is after this session will be like, you know what, let me give this an opportunity and see how it goes. What are they going to what do they expect to find in the application? The various essays and everything, if we can go do a run in on that.
Well, we have like the essay is a bit not really long, but at least it's long. You have to say a lot of things. And the
Yeah.
beauty about this is that I have the video on my YouTube channel. I have a
Mm-hmm.
full video of different essays. But I'm just going to tell you key things that you need to pay close attention to when you are writing your essays. We have different questions. I use my own essay as a sample. So you can
Yeah.
look up the video on the YouTube channel so that you can see the way I structure mine. And of course, that got me like about 4 more nominations.
Mm.
So, um, but going over it might be a bit stressful now because I already have video. but I'm going to tell you key things that you need to pay close attention to when you are writing your essays. Should I jump into that now? Or
Yeah, yeah, you please. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can go
okay.
into the essays, just an overview, and then again, the beauty about this is just a summary to kind of interest people who are in this platform. But more
Mm,
than that,
yep.
I too got interested in this opportunity out of, the videos, your content that I was watching. So
Mm,
if you need more details, word by word, ASS structure and everything, definitely go to Mr. Yusuf's YouTube channel. Everything is there. But then for general overview, to kind of have a recap for those already applying, already halfway there or thinking about it, just have a general overview of what to put in the essays and how best to structure it.
yep. Uh, Thank you very much. So, what is important right now? What you need to show forth in your application is actually
Mm,
four things basically. You have to show that academic side of you, and
mm,
also the impact. Remember, the reason why we have Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is for you to make impact in your own home country. If you are
mm,
writing all the essays and you are writing different essays and you are unable to show that, how funding you, how supporting you is going to benefit your country, your own
mm.
country, your region, then you are not eligible. You are not going to be selected. You have to demonstrate how you're going to make impact with what you've learned. It's very, very important. The quality of study plan is also there. And what's the last thing? Something I've covered it already. What's the last point here? Sorry.
You're talking about the CSS.
Okay, yes. Yes.
Mhm.
So the academic merit, let me really run through this. So you just need to really show where you've performed well academically, if you've published papers before, if you've done some research before, and of course, maybe you are the best graduate student, or you finish with first class, or you just want to show that academic side of it that you are good academically, because the university, the UK university is very the program is rigorous, as you know, um, like, and they want to be sure that you can meet the academic rigor and you have the strength and capability to do well if they give you the funding. So you also have to show to them that, see, I'm brilliant, I'm smart. This is what I've done. I finished with first class. I finished with 2-1. Um, oh, I didn't do well before. You don't need to show those things, but in my masters, I have this. For people that maybe they finish with 2-2 and they have a master's degree with maybe something really strong. So that can also make you eligible. So, but typically 2-1 and first class. And you have to show that, oh, see, this is what I've done. I scored very high in this particular course. Anything that can tell your story. I can't, we are different. For me, I can show my strength in a particular way. You can show your strength in a particular way. Maybe you've done something in your country or you've won a particular award while still an undergraduate that shows that this guy has some level of academic potential and they've been doing well before now in their academic work. So it doesn't you be the one that will do the thinking of how you want to demonstrate this, but they have to see it one way or the other in your application. So this thing doesn't just apply maybe in a particular place. You have to constantly show excellence in your application that, oh, see, I'm an excellent person. This is what I've done. I finished with this. I finished with that. I scored this. I scored that. So me, I might not talk about what I scored. Me graduating with the first class alone is enough. I can just mention that despite this and this and this, I still finished with the first class. But so there's a way you word things that bring out that side of you to show that you have academic uh you've met their academic merit criteria. It is very, very important that you show that. And also about the impact. This is very, very important. If you are writing your essay and everything is showing that it is just going to benefit you, you apply because you just want to get a job that will pay you 20,000
A high
euros every
paying
month.
job.
Yeah, that will pay 20,000 euros every month. They'll just laugh that who is this one? They will laugh at, who is this one? No, we don't want you. You have to show that you want to serve. You have to show that everything that you want to learn in the UK, you want to use it to make impact in your home country. You have to demonstrate that clearly. Not that, oh, when I finish this program, I have to be collecting 500 billion every year as my salary. No, that's not
It's
the
going
reason
to
why they want
change
to
my
fund you.
life.
Yeah. So, of course, you can show how it's going to improve your
Yeah.
skills, how it's going to
Yeah.
improve your knowledge studying in the UK, and how you're going to use those skills and knowledge that you gain in the UK to serve your country, to serve your
Mm,
people, to serve your community. Because Commonwealth
mm,
Shared Scholarship is about service, it's about making impact in your community. So you have to be able to
yeah.
demonstrate that in your application. I'm not telling you this is the place where you have to demonstrate it. You are the one that will
Mm,
think about, okay, this place I need to show that, oh, this is the impact I'm
mm,
going to make. And also, Commonwealth Share Scholarship, they are also align well with the Sustainable Development Goal. So you have to look for a way to tie, for instance, for me, it's going to be good health and well-being. For some people, it might be peace. It might be another area. It might be different aspect of, it might be no poverty. It might be uh, equality. It might be different aspect of the sustainable development goal. So you have to make sure that you tailor your application in a way that shows that, oh, you understand this concept as well, and you're able to demonstrate that in your application. But what is important overall is that you're able to show clearly the impact that you want to make in your community. What do you want to do? Which impact do you want to do you notice something? Do you notice a gap in your country? And there's something called for many countries, I know Nigeria has something like maybe what the UK government is actually
mhm,
interested in different countries. So for
mm,
Rwanda, now maybe if you Google, you see maybe Rwanda, UK government, maybe something like that. You see some form of areas that they are interested in. So you can look for a way to also mention that in your application that, oh, okay, you also hope, like you're hoping to also contribute to this aspect of development that the UK government is interested in your home country. So you also have to show that you want to save and you want to make impact and you want to use your knowledge and skills that you think you cannot get in your own country. You want to get it there and bring it back home. Don't say after you've done with your master you want to work with the UK government or you want. They don't care about that. They don't want that. What they care about is that they want you to go back home and make impact. So
yeah.
you have to show that. So I don't know anything you
Mm.
want to do after, but for this application, you have to demonstrate that clearly in your
Yeah,
application.
but
Yeah.
one thing I've really loved with these kinds of hours is that number one, when we see these hours already in our mind, we're like, okay, they want an A star performing student, a first class student. But
Mm,
these hours have shown us that they want people who are going to add meaningful contribution to the environment, right?
right.
What's the whole point of funding someone who is after funding them, who is
Mm,
probably going to stay in the UK or probably even come back and
mm,
then probably live a very beautiful life, but then they have not impacted the environment, they have not made any significant change. So why
right.
invest in that person?
Right.
So I love the initiative that this kind of hours have put in, kind of pushing people to now think, be solution oriented in terms of, achieving the SDGs and so whatnot. But another thing that I really notice is that some students really don't know how to echo the impact, right?
Mm,
Because most of the courses that are already put there, in one way or another, they should impact your country or the region where
right.
you are. But then, do you, as an applicant, do you understand how you're going to be of impact, or do you
Mm,
know the contribution that you're going to be there? So, I think most of the times when you're doing these kinds of application, they kind of give you, you take a step back to think and reflect on yourself. But then if already you are able to articulate, no, okay, this is what I want to do an MPH, but then it's health, you are under the health, the strengthening the health systems, then
yeah.
exactly immediately what roles are you going to take on, what immediate change are you going to, uh, do in the community or in the workplace that you're going to be in. And I think it's really fair because, again, it's like a business. Imagine if you're investing, but then there are no profits coming out of the business.
Yeah.
That means you
Exactly.
should shut down. So it
Yeah.
really makes sense. But as a student who is applying, sit down, take an hour or two or a whole day, consult your professors, your mentors, and people like that caliber. Understand how can I be impactful? Know what is trending in your, like me and Mr. Yusuf, we are in the health fraternity, so we know he's going to. Again, I saw most of his essays and his videos. He knew exactly what the UK is doing in Nigeria in that health fraternity. If you're a Rwandan student, know what the UK government is doing in the Rwandan community, and not just about having an application that stands us, but being more. purposeful, if I can say it. It was like, okay, this is what the UK is doing. This is how I can actually link it to what I hope to do, to so that you improve your environment, your country, and the region at large. So I think that's what I wanted to add on. But more than that, I think students, when they're applying, they also forget that they're applying. You're not the only person applying. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah.
While you're applying, there is a Mr. Yusuf in Nigeria who has a remarkable, who is also applying. And then we have some other person probably in some other, I don't know all the countries under, but there are various students and very good students, mind you, that are applying. So it's very important, I think you kind of echoed on that. From the first essay that you're writing, really capture that attention. No, you know what? I know you have thousands and thousands of applications, but hey, I am the one that you're looking for in terms of being very articulate with academic merit. I know
Right.
that the essays are I know you said they're not many, but when I looked at them, they're really many. But they're all linked. I don't know, you're trying to be humble with everything, but they're all linked. And the wordings are really, you find 250 words at 100 words. And it's very important for you to be from the few words that you have to write, tell them line by line and the person that you're looking for. That's just it. Yeah. So that's the interject I wanted to make, but yeah, you can proceed.
Yeah, I mean, that's very important. Thank you for re-echoing that. You need to
Mm,
demonstrate, not even about academic merit alone as well.
mhm,
You do well, you also
mhm,
need to demonstrate that you want to make impact, and also the quality of study plan. In your
mm,
application, you have to you have to show that you understand the program and what the program is going to give to you. So imagine you're applying for a program and you kept on mentioning things that you will not get from that program.
mm.
That's and in people that will review your application are actually academics, so they know academics in the UK university. They know what the course is all about, and at the same time, they also want to see how you are a good fit for that program. So you have to be sure, you have to make sure that you demonstrate that clearly how you fit into the requirement for that program, and at the same time, what you're going to get from the course, and how it's going
Mm,
to be relevant to your home country. So, what do you want to learn? Show your deep understanding of the content of the problem, and also don't be generic in the way you talk about different schools. So you have to make sure that you talk about unique things about that school that they're going to give to you. For instance, when I was applying, I used different lines that show that, oh, if they don't give me this scholarship, I cannot study in Oxford. Please give me this thing. Well, I'm not just begging. I also demonstrate clearly that I
yeah.
understand what this program is going to give to me. So you have to
Mm,
make sure that you show that clear. Don't write. Don't just write that. Oh, okay, I want to apply for this program because it's the best in the world. They will just throw away
well,
your application. That's not enough. You have to show clearly. It's not just about being the best. What if it's
yeah.
the best? What is that unique thing about that program, about
Mm,
that school that you think is going to be beneficial to you in terms of the way you're going to improve your knowledge, your skills, your capability to solve more problems, to impact your community. So don't just
mm,
start putting, oh, this school is the best in the world. That's why I'm applying to this school. No, that's not the strong reason for you to
mm,
be giving that offer. So you have to show and demonstrate clearly why and how the program is a good fit for your career.
mm.
I think you have a whole lot of question in the chat already. Maybe I should just quickly
Amazing.
touch on. Yeah. Can you see from your end?
No, I can I actually can't.
See okay, YouTube. Someone is asking that I in the Cambridge portal, you have to submit a short essay on what makes you I think so. What about the offer? I think I've answered that. So
Mm,
for Cambridge, I'm not familiar with but for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, the application is on the Commonwealth Shared website, please.
mm,
So for different schools, for different program, for scholarship application is on the Commonwealth website. So Commonwealth
mm,
will be the one that will transfer your application to the university. But for some
mm,
schools, they might have other things that they want to ask you when you're applying for admission. Did you apply for this particular program? Did you apply for any
mm,
scholarship? That's based on the university.
mm,
They can have that, and of course, you can feed those information, but don't miss out by not submitting your application to the UK university. You have to submit your application to the UK university, and at the same time, you have to submit your application to Commonwealth Shared through their website. The website is available. This is the website here. You can easily Google it and see the website. So you have to submit your application, and you can create different application for different schools. It's not that inside the Oxford application you will not mention other school. No, you submit. There's a way you on the portal you can open different schools that are available for the scholarship inside the portal. You can apply to multiple programs and make sure that if you are using essay, I'm saying this repeatedly because this has happened
Yeah.
to some people where they will mention another university because they are doing copy and paste, which nobody is
Yeah.
going to criticize you for that because
Mm.
they will not share your application with. If you apply to Nottingham, they will not share your application with Oxford, so they don't know the essay, they don't know what you write for. Even if it's the same thing, they don't know. But make sure that it's tailored, and you are also you'll try as much as possible to demonstrate why the program is unique. But the personal essays, the other aspect can look similar if they are applying to similar programs. If you are applying to masters in public health in 3 different universities, masters in public health, most of the time they are actually the same in content. So you can
Right.
borrow words from different ones and from different university essays and just prepare one. But you can on the portal you have multiple sessions for different universities, so you create it. Just check the website, but don't, when you're applying to Oxford, make it strictly Oxford. If you apply to Cambridge, make it strictly Cambridge, Nottingham, University of Leeds, depending on where you are. If you are submitting multiple application to multiple schools, but they will not share your application because I think someone asked that question that will they see the application for like can you use the same essay? No, yes you
Yeah.
can. So it's not that they will share your application, your Oxford application with Cambridge. No. Even if you use similar words, if the course is actually the same. So don't worry about that. And also we have what of Warwick University? What about that? If you can
What
recap your
about
question.
Warwick University?
Yeah, someone is asking the question. I quite don't get that, but if you can ask the question again. Hello, there is okay. No, it doesn't cover undergraduate degree. It's only for postgraduate. Masters, taught masters in the UK.
Mm.
So you cannot use it for undergrad. It's not for undergrad. It's not. It's for taught masters in the UK in selected eligible university. Not all universities in the UK are eligible or are listed. So you have to check the Commonwealth Shared website to know the university and the eligible courses. Can one apply for Commonwealth scholarship with HND? I'm not sure about this with HND. HND, that's higher national diploma. I'm not
Mm.
sure about that. Um, but I think for the Commonwealth Shared on Commonwealth Shared website, maybe you can apply. But what of the
I think it's for
university?
the institution. Yeah.
Exactly. What of the
Mm.
university? I don't. University will have a strict requirement about not accepting anything
Mm.
that is not maybe a first degree. So I think that's where the challenge. I think for Commonwealth Shared, you can still submit your application. But what of the university that you're applying to? Will they consider your application if you use HND? So I think that's the key thing here. Please, are we expected to indicate Commonwealth Share Scholarship that we have applied to more? No, no, no. You don't have to show that. You don't have to mention it that you've applied to multiple university. They don't care. Like
What
if
they
you
need
submit,
is an offer.
yes, once you have offer
Yeah.
from the school,
Mm.
and you don't have to have any offer right now as we speak. Just submit
Mm.
admission application and also submit your Commonwealth Shared application. Do that.
Mm.
There's a way they connect things later by January. They know that you apply and they will review everything together. But don't mention when you're on the Commonwealth Shared portal. Don't mention that in Oxford application, in Cambridge application. Don't mention that you. It's not part of the essay. They don't ask about that. They don't care. So you don't need to mention that over. I've applied to other school. No, just mention. Um, just write your essay for different programs. Then they will transfer your application to that university for them to review. So there's no need for you to start mentioning. But there's no question. Yeah, I guess there's no question that is in a form to ask you whether you apply for other Commonwealth Share Scholarship in other program. No. So you don't have to mention that, please. It's not. So will applying to unrelated programs affect one's application by making you look unfocused? If you apply to unrelated programs, nobody will know. Please get how the system works. If you apply to masters in, let's say, in artificial intelligence, and you apply to masters in public health in another university, they will not know that you applied. It's parallel in a way that they just transfer your application for Oxford to that school. But
Mm.
even in the same university, if you apply to two different Commonwealth shared but I would not recommend that. If for instance for Oxford now, about 4 or maybe 3 courses are going to be listed. So why not apply to other programs? Just pick one for Oxford and be focused with them. That oh, this is what I'm applying for in Oxford. But if you do that same thing and you apply to masters in public health and you apply to another masters in artificial intelligence in another school, nobody knows, nobody cares about that. They don't know. So they will review your application the way it is and match it with application that you submit to that you submitted to the university. So no, they will not see that you are on focus because they will not even know. Cambridge only knows that you applied to them. They don't know whether you applied to Nottingham or you applied to other 50 other universities.
Or
They don't know.
what you applied for in that other university. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't share your application with that. Oh, this guy applied to like 50 schools. No, nobody. So in fact, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I think I got 4 like a nomination at the end of the day. So when I
Mm-hmm.
was asked, I have to choose. I have to choose at the end because when you
Yes.
are nominated, you have to choose that. Oh, which one will I want to go for? So you have to reject
Concentrate
others.
on, yeah.
Exactly. So that means that they allow it. So they allow different parallel application. So they know that people apply to multiple things, multiple schools,
Yeah.
multiple programs.
Yes.
They will not ask
Yeah.
you at the end which one do you
Mm.
want to choose. Once you have like maybe 4 or 20 nominations at the end
Yeah.
of the day. So they will not ask you which one do you want. Then you're oh, I want um
Yeah.
this particular school. Then you can reject others. You cannot go to 5 universities
Mm.
at once at the same time. Yeah. So you have to
And
reject
then
one and just go for
in
one.
the same line, because we are almost approaching the deadline, so
Yep.
for someone who is now trying to think about applying to various courses, I
Yep.
think that would be really hectic because again, the deadline is around the corner. So I would recommend you try to streamline now, try to be more focused. If it's
Yep.
MPH, probably apply MPH at Nottingham, apply MPH at Oxford or where, I don't know where, or Liverpool or Leeds. But
Yep.
then if you are applying, let's say data science or whatever that are under the CSC teams, you find that you're going to need a lot of time and probably miss out on getting the admission that you
To
need.
craft different essays. Yeah, because crafting different
Yeah.
essays, there's no time again. So, but if you apply to similar courses across the university, you can easily share your application. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, in the same line,
Yep.
um, so because I see time is really rushing, but then
Mm.
we would not really do much justice if we didn't talk about the development essay questions, the 4 major development impact section essays that you find in the application. If you could shed light on that and probably what is the value and substance that these essays hold in the application?
The 4 essays are just the key determinants whether you're going to be selected or not. And like I
Mm,
said, these 4 areas, you have to show them in your application.
mm,
And what is always like very, very important when it comes to Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is that impact, is that knowledge that you want to pick. So it's highly dependent on you and how you want to structure it. But this application is that's for those first 4 essays, they are very, very
mm,
important. They are key determinants of whether you're going to be selected or not. So you have to think through how you want to tell your story, how you want to talk about what you've done, and how what you've done before actually you have been doing
mm,
things, you have interest in various stuffs, you have been making impact in your community. How did all these things come together for you to make you who you are, and why you think the masters is actually very important for you to make more impact in your community? This is about
mm,
impact. So they don't joke with impact. They want to be sure that you are able to show clearly how you want to make those impacts, and at the same time what you have been doing before, and you also have to show that academic side of you. So this this is just what the essay is all about, really. So, but if you want to see how I structured mine, if you don't have time, you can look at you can watch those videos. You'll be able to see clearly how I tell my own story. So, but you cannot copy my story because we are not the same. So
yeah.
you you have to think through your own journey and how you think this scholarship is going to be useful to you to build your capacity. But what is important is merit, impact, and at the same time, you being able to demonstrate how you're going to make contribute to your home countries. So the 4 development essays, the personal statement is very, very important, and they are very short, and you just have to tell your story clear and properly, and you're going to be fine. So
Mhm.
uh, it's very, very important. And right now, someone's asking whether you need personal, whether you need references. You don't need recommendation letter now. When you are nominated by next year, when you are nominated or you are reserved for the scholarship, they will send email to your For now, you just have to list the name of references in your application. Please list the people that you can reach out to by next year, because once you submit your application for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, uh, when you are nominated or you are reserved for the scholarship, they will contact you that you should ask your reference that you've listed when you're applying now to upload the recommendation letter. You don't need recommendation letter right now. What you need, the name of the person, maybe the position, and email address. Most of the time, you want to use their university email address. But if you are using their personal email address, make sure that when they are uploading their letter next year, they use letterhead of the institution where they are based. So that will show that this is formal. But right now, you don't need to worry about a recommendation letter for Commonwealth Share. I don't know about the university. The university is different. Schools, when you
Yes.
apply, they will ask for recommendation letter. You have to make sure you submit that to
Mm.
them. But for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship application on the Commonwealth Shared website, you
Mm.
don't have to upload a recommendation letter now. You just need to list the names of your recommenders. Please use people that you can reach out to, because I think probably you cannot change the references later, and you need minimum of 2 when you are nominated. So let me talk about the outcome. The outcome by next year is either you are reserved or you are nominated. They are two different things. If you
Mm.
apply to Oxford now and you have the admission and they send email to you, they will send email to you that you are nominated or you are reserved. Nomination means that they've selected you, that you have been selected. Um, you are their top candidate, and you are going to be nominated to. They will send your name to Commonwealth. The university will send your name to Commonwealth. That, see, this guy is the one that we nominate. We've nominated this guy for the scholarship. He's our first choice after we review the application. That's nomination. Reserved is that in case that guy that was nominated say, "Oh no, I'm not going to your. I got other offer in other places. Bye bye. I don't want your scholarship again." They will not
Mm.
pick you that you're on reserve list. So they have some schools. They can have like 5 people or 10 people on the reserve list, just in case the next person also got another offer in another school and say, "Oh no, I don't want you." So reserve means that you are not confirmed yet, but they will still ask you for a recommendation letter. By that time, they will ask and they will tell you that you have been reserved. If the person that was nominated say, "No, I don't want this program," maybe you are the next on the list. They will just put you as the next candidate. So that's why they ask for a reference letter from everyone at that stage. But at that point, if you don't receive any email for maybe nomination or whether you are reserved for the scholarship, then probably that means that you are not successful, and they will send email later that you have been rejected for the scholarship. So two things can happen: reserved and nomination. But what everybody wants is the nomination, because once you are nominated, nothing can stop you from getting the scholarship. The
So
only
before you
Yeah,
leave that point,
yeah.
uh, you mentioned from your experience that you had gotten an admission at Oxford before applying to the for the award. So
Yes,
if you're
because of the
applying,
strict deadline. Oxford is different because of the strict deadline for admission into the
mm,
program. Yep.
but you know that means, because when you look at the application for the Commonwealth, you find that they ask you to actually to this year it's 3 recommendation letters.
Yep.
So so they will ask you to submit. So those, let's say if you already have an admission, do you still need to submit the 3 recommendation letters? Like for the students who have already gotten the admission.
But to get that clear,
admission.
you said this year they asked you to upload the letter. Did they ask you
Yeah,
to upload
like
the letter this year?
and
Or they
I
just asked you
wasn't
for the
really
names?
keen on I wasn't really keen, but they did ask for the names, definitely. The names, the roles, and the emails, definitely. But then the question is, are those recommendations for the award, or are they
Yes.
for the institution and the course that you're pursuing? Because
The,
remember, when you're applying to the institution, you also have to give recommendation letter why you should get that
yes,
course. And then
yes,
the award, are they looking for application materials they can send to that institution, or they want also someone to recommend you for that award? There was a little bit of confusion on that one.
yes. To be clear, just
Mm-hmm.
see the two processes to be different. The
Mm,
university, you will still submit a recommendation letter, is for them. For
mm,
Commonwealth Shared, the recommendation letter is also for the scholarship alone, not for
mm,
admission.
yeah.
The university, the Commonwealth just want to get that information, the letter from you, that somebody is also
Mm,
recommending you for the scholarship. You also need to
mm,
submit your reference letter separately for the admission for the university. So it's not the same. So the reference letter, the name that they're asking you to submit to list the name right now, not the letter. So right now they just want you to
mm.
list the name of 3 people. That is for the scholarship. So by next year, they will not ask you, Commonwealth will not ask you that, let's get those letters. It's for them, not for the admission to that program. Am I clear?
Yeah, it's very clear.
Yeah.
We have to, for everybody who's applying, they have to take the applications as if they're separate at the end of the day.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I
So
get,
don't worry, there's a
I
place
think
that we
it's very
ask
clear.
you in the application. They will ask you that what is your application reference number for admission to the university? You know, if you
Mm,
not if you submit the Commonwealth the admission, the Commonwealth first before the admission, you will not have that reference letter. But don't worry, there's a way they link it. Like they will still send your application to the university, so they will link it. They will know that this guy actually applied for admission in our school. So don't worry about that place where they ask for admission reference number if you don't have it yet. But what I will recommend is that please submit your application to the university even if the deadline is next year. Make sure that you submit that application to the university this year. Don't delay till January. Once you submit your Commonwealth application, follow it up with the admission with the application to the university for admission. Because when they are linking up, well, when they are trying to review in January, they will not wait for you that, oh, we are waiting for this guy to apply to the university. They will not wait for you. So they will have selected people that have the offer or they have admission or they've submitted the applications for admission already. So they will just consider them. So you have to make sure that you are proactive in the way you apply and don't delay anything. So once you submit your CSC application and you've applied for a program, follow it up before December with admission application into that university. In the other university, they are a bit fast. So they should get back to you in 2 or 3 weeks if you have offer or not,
yeah.
so that you can meet up when they are reviewing in March or they are trying to select people across different universities in the UK. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much. I think we have covered most of the essentials. And again, for people who probably joined us a little bit later or when we had mentioned this information, what we're currently doing is we are giving a brief overview of what to expect in the application. So if this is your first time hearing about this application, then this session is for you. But then if you've already started working on the application and you're kind of giving up, or you have some challenges, you have met some challenges, then this session will just do an overview again, because we can't cover everything. But what is sweet about this whole session is that Mr. Yusuf already has content on the same, where now more than us saying that the 4 developmental essays that are really critical, he goes essay by essay and he gives his own application materials stating how he approached everything and how best to streamline everything. Again, it's not for you to copy and paste, but as a form of reference, so that at least you apply from a better, reference point. So I think that was important that I give it, because I believe that some people who joined a little bit later. So since you've taken us through the various application processes, the essays that are there, again, for details, we can always refer to the content that is already available. But more importantly, so I know for the western part of Africa, this is a very popular award, right? And I think from the different people on my social media platforms, people who were talking about this award, again, they were coming from Nigeria, the western part of Africa. But then for the eastern part, specifically even in my country, Rwanda, you find that this award is not very popular. We have the likes of Chevening, the Commonwealth, but you find Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is not very popular. So you said that you got your admissions much later, and I believe you already knew the various funding opportunities that were available for you, right? So what made you opt for this one in particular? What stands out, not just at the point of application, but now if you are to look back with the benefits that you've had with the award, the exposure and experience and everything, why does this still be the best option for a student who's also trying to figure out the funding opportunities for the graduate studies in the UK?
Thank you very much. For Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is quite, of course, it's fully funded. So, and you have the opportunity to not worry about paying your school fees. For me in Oxford, the school fees about 30 something thousand, 35,000 pounds or so, thereabouts. And the kind of network that you also get yourself involved with for Commonwealth Shared is also amazing. The scholarship has been available for a long period of time. So even older people, yeah, when we are having the alumni meeting, sometimes they go in Abuja. I was really impressed to see that we have different people, older people, professors that have already received these awards many years ago. So you are going to, I think, about 30,000 community of Commonwealth Share Scholarship global scholars globally. So you have the opportunity to be in that network, and you have opportunity to also learn and also not to worry too much about anything that has to do with you studying in the UK, which is not cheap. And if I'm and the primary reason why I actually applied, I chose this scholarship is because I believe is more transparent in the sense that you're going to be nominated by the UK university themselves. Um, Unlike other, maybe the Commonwealth Masters own that you have to be nominated by someone in your own country or the government. So I think this one is a bit more transparent, and you have high chances of actually getting the scholarship if you're able to tell your story really well. So which I think for Commonwealth Share Scholarship, you have that network, you have that opportunity to learn for free, and also for you to be able to build your skills to make more impact in your home country. Uh, don't for right now you can see that probably I'm in the UK also doing my PhD, and
Mm,
the requirement for Commonwealth Shared is that you have to go back home. There is an exception for PhD. If you have PhD offer, immediately I finished at Oxford, I moved to Cambridge immediately. So to move to Glasgow immediately. So
that's
that
good.
shows that I already have my offer, so I can continue my stuff. So the only
Mm,
time where they actually approved you to stay back in the UK is when you have a PhD offer. But generally, they will not police you like the Commonwealth, like Chevney. For Chevney, you have to return back home for 2 years. You have to go back to your country for 2 years. But Commonwealth Share, they just mention that you have to go back home, but they are not really policing people. There's no
mm,
you must go back home. Somebody's monitoring you or stuff like that. No. So, but they recommend that you go back home and make impact and contribute
yeah.
to your home country. So, but for Chevney scholarship, Chevney is really, really strict. You have to go back home for 2 years. Go back to your home country to, uh, at least that's the right thing to do because they are strict
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But some people, you know, still look for a way to to do what they want to do. So I don't know about
yeah.
that. But what is standard is that for Commonwealth Shared, they are not so strict. Um, if you like, you can stay back in the UK if you have other means of staying back. But the only thing that they mention that they approve of is if you have PhD offer, you can go for your PhD, and of course stay back in the UK. Yeah. So I love and enjoy Commonwealth Share Scholarship. Of course, who will not enjoy that because you don't have to pay anything, just study.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Amazing, amazing. I think that's very beautiful because more than that, I love the way these awards in the UK follow each other. You know, Chevening closed off, and then we had the Commonwealth for masters
yeah,
programs, and then immediately after closing off, we then had this one. So it kind of gives, it makes UK very receptive for to students. for students. So if you already, gave up with chevening, probably didn't get chevening, and you probably were not able to submit for the Commonwealth Masters, then this is another great opportunity for you to, have. And another thing that you mentioned that I really find that really stands out for me is the network that you get to have. Because if you're truly intentional with what you've put in application material, saying that there's ABCDs that you really want to change in a region, then having that rich network of people already that you get from that hour itself, it brings you a step closer to actually making that, fulfilling that. So I think that's really amazing. So
On this slide,
I'm
I really want to touch on two things in case people are
please
watching the
do, please
future
do,
so
please
that they
do.
will
Yeah,
not be
yeah, yeah.
confused. So for the
Yeah,
English
yeah,
language test, you don't need it for the Commonwealth application, for the scholarship application. You need it just for the
mm,
university. Some schools,
mm,
they are a bit strict with the English language, IELTS, TOEFL, they are a bit strict with that. So that can
mm,
affect your admission offer from being confirmed. So it's not about the scholarship, it's about the offer to your university. You remember, offer to the university is also very, very important because you need to have
mm,
admission before they can confirm your scholarship. And
mm,
also, where I talk about, do I apply to the CSC or the university first? Don't
mm,
follow this order. It depends on your circumstance. It depends on the school that you're applying for. For instance, if a school is closing tomorrow, you need to submit your application to that school today. So you can
yeah.
submit your application to Commonwealth by 9th of December. So
Mm,
this is actually the order, but right now the deadline is a bit short. It's just like 1 month now, and they want you to submit your application really fast. So just make
mhm,
sure that you made the university deadline for the offer. So it doesn't have to
mm,
be university application first, then CSC. No, it doesn't have to be that. It depends on your own circumstance. For people applying to Oxford and Cambridge, the deadline
mm,
is very, very. I think it's next week or so before
yeah.
the deadline for the Commonwealth Shared. So that's
Mm.
just what I want to actually amount regarding. Um, and the stipend is only for you. Uh, but
So
you
no
can bring
family
your.
members.
Yeah, yeah, but it's only for Commonwealth PhD they give. It's just 1 year. So for Commonwealth PhD they give stipend to your partner
Mm,
and I think children for Commonwealth PhD. But for Commonwealth,
PhD.
yes, shared scholarship is only for you.
Mm,
But now in the UK you cannot bring your partner.
mm,
But if you are funded by the government, if you receive Commonwealth shared scholarship, you can bring your partner with you. You can bring your family with you to the UK.
mhm,
They've stopped it for like if you apply to the UK for masters now, if it's not masters by research, taught masters in the UK, you cannot bring a dependent. But
mm,
if you receive the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship because you are funded by the government, there's an exception for you, but you have to bear all the other costs of your partner coming to the UK with you. But you can bring your dependent, your family with you if you receive the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. Even though for self-funded students or they are banned if they are doing thought masters, they cannot bring their um yeah. So what's key thing I want to so by applying you already demonstrate that you cannot pay. Can I take question? We have a lot of questions on the chat.
oh, amazing. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat box, so that's okay. You can read
Do
out
you,
the
do you have
question.
another thing you want to do now?
No, 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 no. Let's
No,
let's keep this
keep
going.
them.
This is actually fun.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Let's see. Maybe I can access it. Mm.
Yeah, you can just go to the YouTube and you
Let
see.
me access the YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your kind words. Um,
Yeah, definitely. It's for everybody, and unfortunately, I can't see the people already joined, but for everybody who made the time to join this live session, we want to say thank you very much. Our heartfelt appreciation from me, Next Gen for all, and Mr. Yusuf. Again, I think we are all driven by one common agenda, making sure that you attain your academic goals and dreams, right? You should not stop studying because you don't have the budget. We believe solely that education is a basic right. And we believe, I think most of the belief system we have is also shared with the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, if I can say it like that. We want to build an Africa that has the potential to actually solve the problems that are already in existence, and also make that remarkable change. And we believe education really goes a long way. So if there are various opportunities out there that can make you a better person or in the best position to solve these situations, then why not have that opportunity? So yeah, that's why we are here today. You are
Thank
the
you.
questions.
Yeah, so we have Yusuf. Having another master's does not hurt you. Can you talk about the recommendation? Yeah, having another master's, if you have, uh, is it about me? I don't have a master's before. I only have one master's. But if you are talking about the, um, if you have a master's, I maybe you have two before your first degree and you have a master's, is it going to? No, no. Once you've already met the minimum criteria, you just need to demonstrate after you finish one master's. Why do you need another one? So if you have another master's, maybe in another area, and you think you need another
Mhm.
master's in the UK, you can apply. Um, you just need to demonstrate why and the link and why you need to do another master's when you already have one before. So it's not going to affect you. And for
I
the
think
recommendation,
I can help you with reading the questions and now
okay,
there.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So there is someone who asked, let me see, I think she's called Miss Mabelai. She said that, but if the referee doesn't have a professional email, how does
Mhm.
that affect you as an applicant?
It's not going to affect you. One of my the letter that I got from one of my professors actually was sent to the Gmail. Yeah, I think yes, Gmail or
Mhm.
Yahoo Mail. But the only thing you have to do is when they are doing that, you have to use letterhead of the university or the organization where they are working. So you can use their personal email address if they don't have the an official or professional one. Just use that. But when they are uploading the letter later, when they request for the recommendation letter, make sure that the letter is actually on a letterhead.
Mm.
Commonwealth they are okay with that. I use one personal one lecturer that don't have university email address yet. So there's no
I
problem with
also
that.
think there are also some institutions that require, I don't know specifically for the hour, but then there's some institutions that require that you also include the school stamp, which is also very not easily readily. But again, if you can have the letterhead, I think that also makes a whole difference.
Yes.
So we have another one that says, but I think this one you answered it. It says that can I mention the school I'm applying to in my impact essay? Definitely, especially the impact number two, the
Yes.
skills that they're going to learn from the university. I think
Right.
it's very critical that they answer that. And let me see. There's someone who I think they joined a little bit later. They say they're asking, are we going to apply for the scholarship in the school website too? Or one will just apply for the course listed in the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship website in the school?
You only submit your application to the university and you apply for Commonwealth Share Scholarship through Commonwealth website. Some universities
Mm.
they don't ask anything whether you've applied for any scholarship. What they care about is apply for our admission. Commonwealth Scholarship,
Mm.
even if you send email to them, some of them don't know about Commonwealth Share Scholarship. But don't worry, there's a way they link your application later. Submit your application to on the Commonwealth Shared website. There's no separate application for Commonwealth for scholarship, for Commonwealth scholarship or any scholarship on the university website. What you need to do is that submit your application to the university for admission and make sure that the school is actually listed on Commonwealth website. And at the same time, you put forward your application for the scholarship on the Commonwealth Shared website. After deadline, they will push your application to the university and they will connect everything together.
Well, I think most of the questions I'm seeing here, they are asking things that you had already talked about.
They can watch the
Because
video again. Yeah,
yeah, I
it's going to be
think
available.
most of the questions that are in the chat box, if you're able to go through the video once more again, you can find the responses. They're saying, uh, are we going to indicate the program course and the Commonwealth essay? Definitely, I think it's very important that you mention that. And then when can one when one submitted one application through Commonwealth Scholarship website, how will one apply for the school again? Because you said one must apply through both. Again, I think it's what you're mentioning that um, if you're already applying for the award, I know at some point in the essays you're going to talk about the institutions you apply to, the courses that you apply to, but that does not mean that you should have already applied to the institution, right? So even after 9th December, you can still continue applying for these schools, at least before they start reviewing the applicants for this award. So I
Yes.
think most of the information that is the questions that are here are already asked. Um, so there's one
And
particular
when you're on the
question.
Commonwealth application for, let's say you're applying to Oxford now, there's no need for you to mention other university that you've applied to. You are only focusing on Oxford for Commonwealth Shared. Like
Mm,
the application, don't mention that, oh, I want to come to your university. I also apply to that university. They don't care because your application will be sent to Oxford and they don't want to see other things. They don't want to see that you apply to other school in the application to Oxford, the application form for Oxford courses. They don't want to see that. They only want to see that you apply to our program. They don't share the application, so they don't need that. They don't need that information that you apply to other programs. So in the application portal, you can create many applications as you want. You can create 50 or 20. So far, you have the capability to apply to all of them. So though you only need to focus on that school that you're applying to, that need to show in your application that, oh, I'm applying for masters of philosophy in population health sciences at the University of Cambridge. I'm doing this because of, you can write your essay like that. But don't mention that, oh, I also applied to other similar program. No, because this
no,
application is strictly for Cambridge Masters in Population Health Sciences program. They will push your application to Cambridge for them to review later. Imagine they are seeing other schools there. That's going to be some form of red flag. Please note that there's a way you can create separate application for different university for different programs. You don't have to model up everything in one application because that's wrong. Yep.
amazing, amazing. So there's another one who said something very critical.
Yep.
I don't know whether it's to she or he. The question is, I think we are meant to submit the references during the application this year. Again, I think you talked about it. Most of the things that we are doing on this platform is just giving a general overview. That should
Mm.
not halt you from going back to the
Yes,
website to see
please.
what, yes, what they're saying. So probably when Yusuf was applying, then you could, submit the references the following year. But then this year, if definitely, I believe every year there are several changes that keep on going. Again,
Yes.
because I think when you've mentioned that you submitted two referees, but I also think this cycle is going to be three
Two,
references.
it was three for us too, but two is just the
Mm,
um is the minimum that's required out of the three that you're going to list now. I don't know whether
mm,
they've changed things. You only need to
yeah,
submit
yeah, yeah.
two.
Mm,
You don't need to submit two reference letter for your award to be confirmed.
mm,
Yeah. But I don't know whether
yeah.
they've changed things. So always
Mm,
check to know what is the current information or what they want you to know about the scholarship. Yeah.
yeah.
But are
So
you
again,
sure? Are you sure this year that you have to you have to upload the letter right now and not just the name?
no,
Can anybody confirm in the chat box?
probably someone can confirm for us and tell us. But the last time I checked, I saw the same portals that you mentioned. You say the name of the person, the email,
Yeah,
and the things like that. But there was no template
to upload
or pen
anything. Yeah, because
to
I
upload
know.
in.
Yeah,
Mm. But in case it's there, still it doesn't. The fact that we said, "Oh my God," you will submit the following year, so it doesn't mean that what we are saying right now is definitive. So go back to the website through your
mhm,
application, whoever. We believe that everybody who's on this platform right now, they're already applying for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. So go
yeah.
back, see what they're saying. There's someone who's saying yes, so that probably means that definitely you're going to have to submit the
It's like
referees,
you have to
which is
upload the letter this year. You have to upload the letter, right?
there is someone who is saying that that's you have to submit the reference together with their details. It's just the details. So probably again we'll
Okay.
have to check and be
Please check
100%.
so that you can know. Yeah.
Mm. So there is another question that I would love for us to address. is saying that can I use AI to refine my personalized essay, like the ethical use of AI? Is it acceptable?
Well, when I during my own time when I applied, there's no AI there. Sha. Anyways, it was after uh, that we have AI. But what I would say is write your essay first. I'm not against using AI, but make sure that when you are prompting it, it should not change your tone. It should not change the um, AI. If you are using AI to just write your own story yourself from the start, it's going to just to tell you. It's just to tell you generic story about you. It's not going to give you good things that will actually show you in a very good light. So what you have to do is, if you are going to use AI, write the essay first. Then you can use AI to correct grammatical mistakes,
Mm.
typos, or to improve flow of your essays. But make sure that it doesn't change the core message that you are trying to pass. And it's about prompting. If you are able to prompt it well to give you the right output, but don't use it to write the first draft. Sit down, think carefully which message, what is unique about you, which message do you want to pass about yourself, someone that don't know you before, how do you want to impress them? Because you're going to you are trying to impress someone, someone that don't know, they've never seen you before. They just want to read your
Mm.
application. Imagine they're not reading your application, they're not say, no, this is generic. Oh, you are saying things that is not supported, that is not substantiated with what you've done. Oh, I'm the best student in my university, and you are not able to show us clearly because that's what AI will write. Yeah, oh, you are the best student. But which best? What is best student? We need to know what you've done. So you need to share your story in a clear, coherent, and sound manner, so that anybody that picks up your application, all they will be impressed. That who is this guy? We need to give this guy offer, or we need to support this person. But AI might not be able to do that, might not be able to tell your story. So make sure that you take that time out to structure, to make sure that you write your message but in a way that is coherent and clear. But at the same time, if you have to use AI at all, maybe to correct grammar, grammatical mistakes, please make sure that you are very careful with it so that it won't change the tone of your message or what you are trying to pass across to people. For unfortunately, during my own time, there's no AI, so everything was actually written from my small head. So
Amazing, amazing. That is quite impressive because I think here the question is, especially with my experience with this particular award, it has a lot of essays. I know you keep on saying there are not many, but then you find that right now, I think over the years, things have really changed. You find that people are really adamant on writing their essays. So, and I know the people who are really good at prompting their, ChatGPT or something and say, hey, I'm applying to, and now right now ChatGPT has really evolved.
yeah.
We even have the deep six, I don't know. You
Mm,
can really prompt it to draft the essays, but at the end of the day, what you need to know as an applicant, these people know that these tools are available.
mm,
If today they are reviewing the application material, definitely they are going to run them through this, AI detectors, right? So if you're using Grammarly, that is okay because again you're structuring the tone, the grammar, and so whatnot. Grammarly will not write something you've not written.
mm,
But then if you're using ChatGPT from the very first sentence to the last sentence, then my friend, that's not your work. That's you're crediting AI. So I think we really need to be really intentional with this kind of things. And no, if you're already thinking about AI, a lot of other people are going to would be thinking about AI. Another thing is with these particular hours, I think you mentioned it at the start, they're very competitive. So don't give them room to actually reject you even before seeing the real you that is that might be even more outstanding. So I do understand writing can be really hectic, but at the end of the day, there is something that is unique about yourself, and you should be really able in position to pen it down, and people should see that beautiness in you. So yes, you can use some. I personally, I would say Grammarly because I know for a fact Grammarly is going to just correct your grammar. Again, English is not our first language, so definitely but then if you're using different AI tools to like prompt and restructure the whole essays, then you will not be doing yourself justice. And definitely these people are going to be reviewing these materials. They already know, they already expect that among the people that people are going to be right among the applicants, lots of them are going to be using the AI. So why be eliminated because of AI? If
Mm.
you're a high achieving student, have all this qualification, don't allow AI to be a discriminating factor for you. I think that's all I can say on that point. So
Very
I
important.
think we've gone through all the questions, and this has been quite an interesting session. I really loved it, and I think we should be doing more of this. And to
Someone is asking
everybody
something
who,
important here, that is Commonwealth for Oxford University alone. No, 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 no. Because I
no,
went to Oxford, that's why I'm mentioning Oxford repeatedly. Check the
yeah,
website to know the universities and the courses
hmm
that are eligible, please.
mm.
So it's not
I
dedicated
think
to
there are a
Oxford alone.
lot
It's
of,
not,
I
yep,
think from what you said, they give you a list of universities that have partnered with this award
yes.
specifically.
Mm,
And also they give you a list of the particular courses per universities that are going to be funded under for this cycle. So please, regardless of the fact that our panelist today is of from Oxford University, it does not mean specifically to us for Oxford. But then if you're applying for Oxford and this hour, then that is amazing. But I saw Liverpool University is there. We have, I think, Cambridge. There are very various universities. I think I also saw Manchester University, Leeds, things like institutions like that. So there are various universities that are there, and if you need all the information and everything Mr. Yusuf shared right now, you can find all of that information on the website. And the beauty about it, it is going to be updated. So whatever you find on the website, then that is exactly what you need to submit.
right.
So Yusuf, what do you think about us concluding?
Yes, we can now. If there's no
Right.
question,
So,
I want to
so I
apply
think
without. Someone is asking a question. Let me just run. Why can't we have agency who can check the application before you submit? I don't know
mm,
whether you do that as the next generation. If they
yes.
have people read the application,
So, okay, so a bit about next generation is that first of all, what we do, part minus sharing various opportunities and having sessions like this, we also run an annual mentorship program. So, in the annual mentorship program, we let in various students, either undergrad and grad, and then they come in and they work with us for a whole year period. So, within that year period, what we are doing is that we help you, let's say you're a graduate student, for example, and you want to apply to various, institutions in different regions, what we do is we sit down with you, help you craft your application materials, help you in the school selection again. I think these are things that we really need to talk about. You cannot, there are some institutions that have high acceptance for the African students, things like that. So in within the mentorship program, what we're doing is that we talk about all these application criteria and procedures in depth. And then we have mentors that really help hold your hand and help you in applying. So, and the beauty, one thing that really stands out for me is that in the whole mentorship program is that we have again African students who've won those awards, who've walked that similar journey. So already it's very easy to have someone who has been in your shoes to talk about how to navigate the journey as opposed to somebody who's not in your shoes. So I think that is what makes us different as an organization. And more than that, everything that we offer as an organization is free of charge. Again, it comes back to what I said at the start of this session, that we believe that education is a basic right. So, and we believe that if we want to have the Africa that we want to and wish to have, it will all be fueled by having an Africa that is educated. So everything that we do as an organization is free of charge. We post various opportunities on the platforms, but again, there are lots of people who post opportunities, but having people who really talk about opportunities in depth, have people like Mr. Yusuf who come back again as like, hey, this is how I did it, and you too can actually do it. And more than that, having the mentorship session where now you sit down word for word. I personally, I'm not a fan of writing. I hate writing. So, and I believe most people, especially if you're in this health fraternity, find that it's really hard to sit down and write down something. So, but if you have have somebody to kind of, guide you, help you practice and things like that, show you the various approaches, then it becomes much easier. So I think that's all I can say about Next Gen for All. And the rest is that I want to send a special thank you note to Mr. Yusuf again. And I think this is the highlight of my year is that I've been this year I've reached out to a lot of strangers, but at the end of the day, these strangers have been really remarkable in my journey, and not just my journey, but in everything that I've been working on. And through Next Gen for All, I've been able to, approach the likes of yourself, hear the story and hear more than that. I think once you go through his videos and so whatnot, you find you get to see his story, what he's been working on. And for me, it is always moving. So having him again on this platform, sharing the whole journey, hearing his passion, his enthusiasm, it really moves me, knowing that, we have brilliant African minds that are out there and that are thriving, and then they're coming back home to make a whole difference. So thank you very much, Yusuf, for taking the time. I reached out to you as a stranger and was like, hey, I'm Rachel from Next Gen for All. Can we have a session? And then you're like, you know what? No worries. Let's, make this happen. And here we are right now. So thank you very much. And I'm always humbled by these kinds of sessions and everything. And again, for everybody who was able to join us, thank you very much. All we want is not just to have these sessions and talk about our hours and opportunities, is to see that the impact of what we're doing. So we want one time, go apply, once you get the award, come back to this video and say, hey, I listened to your video, to your content and so whatnot. And guess what? Today I got the award. I think that's what we're really working towards. To have more people that, attain the academic goals. So I think that's all I can say. And thank you very much. That's all from me, Rachel Mukashema. And thank you very much, Yusuf.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. The funny thing, we still
Yeah.
have some questions on the channel.
Yeah, let me see. Hi, I am Stella Maris, engaging from Nigeria. Thank you
Can
very
I apply
much.
without NYSC certificate? Yes, of course. This is
Yeah.
international scholarship. They don't care about your NY certificate.
Mm,
What they care more about is your degree. You are done and you can apply. But NYC is not a requirement
mm,
for scholarship abroad, unless if you are
mm,
applying for Commonwealth Masters, which you are going to
mm,
be nominated by the Nigerian government or
mm,
your country. But they can have some requirements. But for the
mm.
shared scholarship, you don't need NYSC to apply.
I think for the reference letters, do they have to mention the school and course in the letter so I can use it for multiple applications?
Uh, well, for me, for in our own case, it's different because it's after I was nominated that he asked that, oh, you have been nominated, and I was nominated by 4 university. So what I did was, um, on my recommendation letter, I created a table to show
Mm-hmm.
the schools that I'm applying to, the schools I applied to, and the my Commonwealth application number. But right
Mm,
now, that probably it's possible for you to apply to using the same reference letter, but things have changed now. If they ask you to upload the letter right now, then it's different from
mm,
during my own time.
right. Well, I do know that you still need to submit the reference number for if you already have an admission, of course, for that particular institution that you applied to. So there is another question saying that when I was creating an account on the CSC, they told me to mention the school plus program I want. Can I still apply to other
Yes,
schools I
you
didn't
can add
mention in
more.
creating?
There's a way you can
Mm,
add more. I know it's a bit dicey. Even during my own time, I have to ask someone because I was where will
mm,
I create new application for another school? There's a way you can navigate that on the website. There's a way you can create plus, add more school, add more program, add more. Don't put all your application for different university. Don't write it up in one essay. There's a way you can create separate application for different schools and different programs that you're applying to. Yeah. So please check the website. There's a way you can play around it. There's a way you can do that to create multiple application at the same time. Yeah.
Well, there is another question here, but I'm not sure whether I'm understanding it. It's saying, please, I still need clarity on how to state that an included applying for several programs in my Commonwealth essay. I think you talked about this. If you have applied to various institutions, I include it in the essay. But I think you don't really need to include that. I
You
think
already
in
know.
all, yeah,
They will know. Don't mention at least I need clarity on how to state that and included I'm applying for. You don't need to once you apply for a program on the CSC website and the program is listed for your university, they will transfer your application to the university. You don't
directly.
need to start mentioning, you're just wasting number space in your essay. You already know that you're going to apply. So it's on you to apply to the university. So once you submit your application to CSC, they expect you to have also if you've not submitted, you started your application to the university as well. So they will link everything up later. And you can create multiple portal for different application on the Commonwealth website. Please check. There's a place you can do that. You can create for different programs. I told you someone applied to like about 15 schools and they got like 3 nominations at the end of the day. So you are free to
Amazing.
create more. So if you create more like different application, you just need to make the application unique to that program. They don't know, they won't know that you submit your application to another school. They won't know. If you apply to Oxford, Cambridge, Leicester, Glasgow, different university in the UK that are listed on the website, they won't share. Oh, this guy is applying. He applied to 20 schools. They won't know. So just
Yeah.
tailor that application to focus on that school alone that you're
Mm,
applying to. Then you can create several applications on the website for different scholarship that are available under Commonwealth. Don't model everything up together that, oh, you apply to 15 schools, then you are write the essay together in one application. You cannot even do that because when you are
mm,
creating the application, they will ask you which school, which course, then you start your application. So you can create multiple applications inside the CSC portal if you have the
mm.
energy to do that. Yeah.
I love that. If you have the energy to do that. Again, to everybody who is applying, we wish you all the best. Again, more than this session, Yusuf has various videos where he goes essay by essay in detail. So please endeavor to go to the content and know how each and every essay, how best to structure it and how to stand out. So um, do we have another question?
I think if you are uploading the letter of recommendation, make it tailored as much as possible. Because if you
Mm,
submit your application and you mention like 5 university there, we want who is this one? Because they will share the recommendation. If you upload the recommendation letter now, which I during my own time, you are expected to upload the letter later, not when you're applying. But if you are going to submit the letter right now, I think it's easy when you ask someone to give you a letter, just tell them to do duplicate of like 5 universities with different course name. So make it I think it's quite easy because if you're applying to similar programs, then just transfer as possible to make it tailored to that school. That's better because I don't want a case. I mean, you don't want a case where you want to make it open to Oxford or other programs that you apply to other schools. Yeah, you don't want to tell you don't want to give that information out because if you do it that okay, maybe you mention the name of the university. But if you don't mention it, if there's a way you can write the letter that you don't have to mention the name of the university at all, you just focus on the course name and the recommendation letter, what they want to say about you, then that's fine. But don't give out that information that you're applying to many schools. So, but being having a tailored application, I think I prefer that. Having a tailored letter, tailored everything for is a lot more better. But if you think it's not so easy, just make sure that maybe to whom it may concern. I don't like that. I don't just look for a way to navigate that. I don't like to whom make it really specific and focused
yeah.
to um to the program that you're applying to. I know that's quite it's really difficult because getting the letter, getting someone that will write. That's why you have to make sure that the person you are reaching out to for letters are actually people that you can talk to, not people that you see as God, that you're not free with. So, a recommendation letter for graduate school is not about looking for the best professors in the world or looking for, no, it's about people that know you, that can talk about you at length, people that you are free to talk to, that, oh, I need another one, I need a tailored one for different that you can relate with. It's not about you just getting letter from someone that you cannot talk to. Please look for someone that you can relate well with and explain the situation to them, that you need multiple reference letter. They can use the same information about you, but make sure that in a way it is tailored to that program or to what you're applying to. But if there's a way you can hide the name and still make it, because if you are mentioning a particular university that, oh, okay, I'm applying to for this MSc in food security, for instance,
Mhm.
uh, are you still going to use that food security for other programs? So it's not really straightforward that much. But if you are applying for food security in multiple schools, then you can use the same letter
Yeah, definitely.
without mentioning the name of the
Mm.
university. Just please don't forget something. Don't mix things up in the sense that because
Mhm.
this thing happens repeatedly, that people will mention University of Oxford instead of University of Cambridge Commonwealth because they are doing copy and paste and they forgot to actually
Mm.
edit that part. That's
Yeah,
no, that's problematic because when they are reading, what they, oh, this guy, you made a mistake, but that's a costly mistake. That shows that you don't pay close attention to this.
details.
Yes, when you are
Mm.
trying to do the copy and paste, make sure that all application is actually tailored to each university under the Commonwealth
Mm.
Scholarship. If you're applying to multiples, if you
Mm.
want to do copy and paste, if the courses are related, and you want to copy and paste, it's fine. But make sure that you don't mix up names of university in your application.
Mm.
Yeah, review that repeatedly so that you'll be sure. Yeah, I think it's on my YouTube channel. If you want to watch the videos, the essays, this
Yeah,
this YouTube channel that you are in, this channel that you're in, you can just scroll up. You will see my name. Just click on my name. You will see
also on this
other videos.
flyer that is there, you can even just type in the names on this flyer. The YouTube channel is going to pop up.
Right. Uh,
Mm. Mm. Let's see. I think it's the same person who was asking link to where I can see your impact letters, please. I think all of that is still on his YouTube channel. Just type in the names and then it will pop up. And see. I
Another thing
think we've
which
covered.
that last part, I don't know whether it's true this year. If you apply to
Wait,
one, it shows to other university. I think that's not true.
no, I don't think. I think what he was trying to say is that there should be a system where you apply to
Oh,
one
okay.
and then they reflect. We wish. Because
So,
I think at the end of the day, they want you to put in the energy. But it's not just about the energy. The issue that I saw is that most of the times we get to know about these awards when they're maybe, if I can say, at a later time, and you find that you're scrambling to go through everything all at the same time. But now that you know, especially for people who will be applying for the next cycle next year, at least you will know, okay, if I want to apply for graduate opportunities in the UK, these are the various funding opportunities available. This is when they close, this is when they open. These are the requirements and everything. So you start applying way before so that by the time these awards open and everything, you already have everything. You have your recommendation letters. It's just, refreshing the data that you already have. That's why most of the times it feels really overwhelming, because when you look at the time it opened and it closing, you find that it's quite a very short period of time, especially if you're going to apply to various institutions, and so that you increase your probability of getting an offer. That can really feel overwhelming. Again, from what Yusuf said, if you feel right now you don't have enough time, at least get that one particular course that you're very passionate about and apply to various universities. That way, you don't really have to restructure the essays entirely, if I can say it like that. It's just going to be tailoring it to the institution, seeing what really stands out that you feel like you should really reflect in the essays to kind of also stand out on that end. Otherwise, if you're still thinking about going various trajectory, food system, MPH, data, things like that, then it's going to be very hectic. Essays from, scratch, different. And again, also it depends on institutions, that those institutions that require a lot of essays, that those institutions that require less essays, that those institutions that are very receptive to African students. Again, so you really need to get down, do some research, see, reach out to various African students going to those schools, ask them, hey, would you recommend me doing this ABCD, so that you have more of a guided procedure.
Thank you very much. I think if you have, I have other videos as well on Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. I think I have a folder, or what's it called, a playlist as well. Please watch, and you get other information from other people that have
Mm-hmm.
interviewed about the scholarship. But what is important regarding information is the present year information. Check what's
Yeah.
the current thing, but the
Mm,
essays and I think every other thing remains the same, and the logic
mm,
behind the scholarship. But there might be some tiny tweaks. For
mm,
instance, the recommendation letter, which maybe they've changed this year, so you have to check those things to be sure that you're up to date. So if you are watching this video in the future, please take note of this. This is just our own personal experience, our own personal insight. It doesn't in any way represent what's Commonwealth. I don't know what they stand for, what they think about the scholarship, but it's from my own experience and also
mm.
guiding people over the years to uh, who have received the scholarship. So you can watch other videos. I have a playlist, so check that out. You see other people
Mm.
sharing their experience and other insight that will be relevant to your application. I wish you all the best. I know the deadline is a bit tight, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you can do it. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Someone is asking
Mm,
about CV. I think you have to upload CV as well. Just make sure your CV is concise, clear as much as possible. And you'll be fine.
mm.
So people from Rwanda, people from East Africa, it is possible for you to receive Commonwealth Share Scholarship. You are fully eligible for it. And Rachel has
Yeah.
made effort to bring this information to you. So please make the most out of it. Thank you very much, Rachel, for moderating, for being an excellent
Yes,
moderator. Yeah.
thank you very much, Yusuf. I will leave you with a random thank you. Murakoze cyane. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you. I'm picking up some. Oh, I won't talk about that now.
It's okay.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for joining. Watch the video again to get more insights. And also, if you need other information about different other scholarship, you can look out. You can check the YouTube channel. And you can also check out Next Gen for All. I think they are on Instagram, on Twitter. Check them
On
out
LinkedIn,
on
on
LinkedIn.
YouTube, everywhere. Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Yusuf. Have a lovely evening.
And if you have any question, you can drop the question in the chat box. Later, I can find time to, uh,
Mm,
as you're writing the essays, if you have any question, you can drop comments. I will
mm,
try as much as possible to answer them before uh, deadline or as soon as possible.
amazing. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye for now.
Right.